Hi folks, and welcome back to Meaningful Money. Okay, I'm back here on my trusty log here in St. Loy Woods because it's threatening rain and I might be a little bit protected here. I'm going to carry on talking about why cash is king, and we've been talking about debt and why it's a bad thing and things like that. Just going to carry on with that theme and dispel some common myths about debt right now. But before we do, down here, my friends, 7 Investment Management continue to sponsor me here, for which I'm very, very grateful. So debt is everywhere. It's prevalent. It contributes to the vast majority of today's ills, I happen to believe, but this is not a political soapbox. But let's sort of look at some common myths and try to dispel them for you. The first one is that debt is a tool. You can use other people's money to get ahead. Well, interestingly, a recent study of the Forbes 400 list, that's the list of the 400 richest people in America, as put together by Forbes magazine. Of those 400 people, 300 of them, or 3/4, said the best way to become and stay wealthy is to stay out of debt. Now, I think that's a fairly powerful sort of argument. These people have made it, they've done it, they are richer than they'll ever need to be, and they did it debt-free, and you can too. The truth about using other people's money is that it brings risk, which you don't have if you're only ever using your own money. A sort of related myth, if you like, is that credit now is so cheap, you might as well borrow to do what you want to do. And that's largely true. Credit is as cheap as it's probably ever been historically, certainly. You can borrow money relatively easily, not so easily as you used to be able to maybe a couple of years ago. But the problem with borrowing money, even if you fix the rate, the interest rate at which you borrow it, and so you know what your monthly payments are going to be, even if you do that, there are other factors which might make that affordability a problem. Like, for instance, you lose your job, or just the general cost of living goes up, so your other expenses go up, making your fixed loan more expensive relatively. Or maybe you're ill and can't work, all sorts of factors. So credit is cheap, yes, but it might not necessarily stay that way for a million reasons. Now, a third myth that I hear all the time is that car payments are a fact of life. You know, you'll always have one. This is just not true, fundamentally. Cars are awful investments. Car payment plans are really bad value. For instance, let me give you an example. If you want to buy a £20,000 car and you want to buy it over 5 years, let's say you put a £2,000 deposit down, 10%, and you finance the rest over 5 years. Well, at normal interest rates today, you're going to pay over the total term for that car, you're going to pay £26,000 for a £20,000 asset. Again, as if that isn't bad enough, that £20,000 car at the end of the 5-year term is only worth £5,000, 20% of what you paid for it. So this is a fairly rubbish deal across the board, right? So I'm going to show you a way that you can buy a £20,000 car without paying a penny in interest and significantly less depreciation than that example I've just given. I've been a proponent of car leasing for a while, but I've changed my mind and I'm now working on a different system, just beginning, so I'm hoping it's going to work, otherwise I shall have to eat my proverbial hat right here on video, but a different way of car buying, but it requires a mindset change and an attitude change and a little bit more patience than most of us have these days. So thanks for watching this one. I'm going to talk about how to buy a car without paying any interest and without getting in debt next time. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you next time.